Hi everyone. Sorry for the late a bit. My name is Snir. I will broadcast this trading room for today. Just let me share my screen and hopefully you can see my screen and hear me well enough. Just let me know. Give me a sign on the chat, please. And okay. Can hear and see. Thank you. All right. Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much. So again, thank you for joining us. My name is Snir. We are in the beginning of this week, this trading week. So as usual, the beginning of the trading week, we usually doing some review for the upcoming days for this week. So we will take a look for the swing long-term opportunities also for the next few days, and also as usual, we will look for intraday opportunities. If we find some for today, during this trading room, we will open these positions. And if not, at least we will mark some new levels to wait for the price. So, okay, let's start. Just to remind you, you can, of course, write down on the chat anything you want to say. If you want me to analyze some other pairs, some other pairs that you preferred, if you want to share or comment, share your idea, please do so. I will take a look on the chat every 1 or 2 minutes. And okay, let's start. Okay. First, I just not long time ago, I would like to share with you the this position that I just opened, which is the US dollar against the Canadian, the loonie. The reason I opened this position is with a bit late, I admit, but I still feel it's a good opportunity. And the reason I opened this position it's because the price here, as you can see now, just reached a demand level that we can see here from the left, right? It seems like this demand level has broke out this supply from the left, and it's kind of an indication that it's a strong demand, hopefully. But it seems a good demand, and it seems like a good level to enter a buy position. If I would be more accurate, so as you can see here, the small candle, so this is the right level exactly to open the position. I was late with a about 6 pips, which is not that much, but that's okay. I will still take this position. I put the stop loss below all this level, okay, here. And my final target for this position, since the price, as you can see here, already reached that high here, if we just put the line here, then we can take a look on the left. And as I always say, we should understand where the price came back from. And this is where we came back from. If it was this level, I would say, okay, it seems like a strong supply, so the price came back from a strong level. But since the price came back from this level, I do believe that if already the price reach here, reach that level, I do believe that we are on the way at least to reach this supply here above and maybe the top. Okay, nothing for sure, but this is my analyze and this is how I see this price action. I believe that if the price reach this level already, then very good chance that the price tends to reach higher for the next available supply, which is this one. Okay, that's the reason I have a buy position here. We will keep follow this one together. Okay, and if needed, we will roll the stop loss. I hope it will be needed soon. And that's all. Okay, let's continue. This is the, I'll start with the euro dollar. And again, if you prefer some other pairs. By the way, I also said it in the last trading room that if you want me to analyze some other commodities or indices, you can write it down. I will check it with you. Also, we in the fivers we allow only FX measures and cross measures. We can still analyze other kind of assets if you want to see and just to experience how the supply and demand work in any market. Okay, so this is the euro dollar, and as you can see, the price just reached here. Okay, just reach a supply level. Also, it is a supply level, but see how strong the price came back to this level. The price just reached that level with power. Okay, so it is a level to sell even in on the first touch. It could be a wise decision, but myself, when I see the price came back, just arrived level with a very powerful, as you can see here, uh, I prefer to look for the confirmation from the lower time frames, maybe this 5-minute chart. So I'll wait to see what happened at this level. If we take a look, we'll start with the 4H time frame. Okay, and as we can see in this 4H, the price, I would say bearish at the moment. If we take all this picture, so this is the last level the price was, the lowest level that the price was recently, and it's this one. Okay, you can understand why the price reacted at this level. It's a nice demand here from the left, and below this one we have this demand. So there are high chance that the price tends to reach by the end, to reach this level at least. So this is what the price doing now. Just check this supply. It won't surprise me if the price will fall down from that level, but since the price reached that level very powerful way and aggressive, I prefer to wait and see what the price will create here in the lower time frame. This is the 5 minutes. Okay, in this level, as you can see, it's a demand. It can be a great demand for a short-term position, okay, or maybe scalper even. But since it's demand which very close to this supply, I'm not sure about this, but let's wait for the price to see if the price reached that level. Okay. All right. So this is the euro against the dollar. I'll take a look on the daily chart. I don't think the conclusion will be different from a few days ago. As we can see here, the price checked this supply here from the left, and on the daily chart we can understand the reaction, and we can explain what's going on here. The price create here a new fresh supply. I believe this is better. Here create a new and fresh supply which drop the price all the way down here. Then we can see the correction. Okay, and on the first touch of the price here we can see the reaction so far, and let's see what will happen in the future. But I do believe that the price tends to reach, for the long and swing traders, the price tends to reach this level here, this demand. All right, so again, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm not sure about the price. Is not in a comfortable zone for me, at least. It's a demand, but we just reach a supply level in the higher time frame, but we reach this supply level in a very powerful way. I prefer to wait and see what the price will do. I prefer to see if the price will keep move up, then I will look for a buy position, or if the price will really turn down, I will look for a new supply in the lower time frames. All right. Okay. over. Oh, okay. Over years. I just need to read some of the questions. Well, what time frame do I recommend? It's very individual. I do believe that for swing and long-term traders, the right time frames to work, it's, I would say, 1 hour, 4 hour, 4H, and daily. I think weekly and monthly, it's too much, but sometimes you have to get the picture from the weekly and the monthly charts. And for the short-term traders, there is no specific time frame that fit to each style. Okay, like I can say that now I am a short-term trader. Okay, I'm even a scalper trader, but as you can see, I have a great demand here. But if I'm a scalper and I want to look for a sell position, I'm looking for a supply on the left. And in this 15-minute chart, I don't see it. Then I'll have to go to the 13-minute chart, and then I still don't have some indication from the left. Then I'll go to the H1, and then I get the picture and I see this supply here. So, and I'm still a scalper, but I have to understand all the situation. I have to understand what in front of me on the left, what about now, and when the price moved down, what I have here below me. So it depends. In this situation, as I just described, I will have to go to the 1H at least to see the left and to understand my position, even if I'm a scalper. Okay, at least this is from my experience. Okay. Okay, someone asked for the Canadian yen. Let's check it. And you ask if I think that the level of 80 is a strong supply. Let's check it together. Okay. Canadian against the yen. Here it is. And okay. All right. So this is the 4H time frame. We do have a nice supply here from the left, at least in this chart, in this 4H chart. I think if we go to the H1, we will get it more clear. I would say this is the clear supply, all this level, okay? But as you can see, the first reaction already was, then almost broke out this supply. Still we see the reaction, then again and again. What was a supply before now turns into resistance level. Resistance is not where I look for a sell position, at least not on the first touch. So the first touch in this supply is not valid anymore. Okay, it's not okay. Just 1 minute. A supply level, it's not, I'm not sure what you mean when traders dump their position. It's not about traders, it's only about a large institutes, banks, public banks, large hedging funds, central banks, traders like me and you, and all together, we are all together, we not really affect this market. Okay, so a supply level, it's a level like in this case where a big institute with a large amount of money put many sell order at this level, okay? And since the price at some point run away from that level, there are unfilled orders waiting here for the price to come back and filled. So that's my explanation, my simple explanation for supply and demand. Of course, in demand, it's the opposite situation. In fact, supply and demand, it's a level where the price, where the orders, we have a huge imbalance between buy orders and sell orders, okay? Just for example, let's imagine that in this supply here, there are at this time of the price here, there was, let's say, 1 billion or let's say 1 milliard sell orders, okay, and only few millions buy orders. So this huge imbalance, okay, create this reaction. When you see, and every time, even if it happens sometimes in the impact, high impact news, when you see the price move very aggressively and fast, you must understand that the reason it's huge imbalance between buy orders and sell orders at the same time, at the same level that the price just jump from or drop from. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So this supply is not relevant anymore. I would wait for the price to sell again on the first touch, maybe here above at this one. Okay, so this is for the, I would say, swing positions. This is the next level I would wait for. This is the 4H time frame. Above this one, by the way, okay, it's about this level here. Above this one, we have this resistance and the next available supply that the price didn't test since created, it seems like it's this one. Okay. So my conclusion here is that if the price will break out also this supply, okay, then there is a high chance that the price will keep move up until reach this supply here. So we can do many things with this conclusion. We can, if the price will break out this supply, we can look maybe for a buy position as an intraday position because it's only about 60, 65 pips between these two levels. So we can consider it as a safe zone to look for a buy position, of course, but only if we find a good demand in the lower time frame to do it. And this supply here above can be a great level for a sell on the first touch of the price, unless the price will reach there very fast and aggressive. But if not, I will consider to sell at this level on the first touch. It seems like a good supply. Okay, and as you can see, this demand below, I think it's not valid anymore. Seems the price already test this level. So that's the only thing I can wait for. Sell here. If the price break out, we can look for a buy position maybe between these two levels, and we can sell here again if the price reach there on the first touch of the price. That's what I can say about this 4H time frame. This is the daily chart. I don't have any different conclusion beside the fact that this supply that I just consider as a valid one. Now I can see that, as you can see, when I move to the daily chart, I have a different picture now, and it's more resistance. The original supply, as you can see, it's here on the left. Okay. And what we see here is just the first touch of the price when the price reach again and test this supply, collect the rest of the unfilled orders and keep moves down. So if the price will reach that level again, okay, I'll change my mind now. I won't sell on the first touch. It is not a supply anymore, it's a resistance. I will look for a maybe price action. I will look for a sell position, but I will look for a confirmation from the lower in the lower time frame. Okay, that's what I look for. All right, let's take a look on this 15-minute chart. In this 15-minute chart, I don't see any good reason to buy or to sell as an intraday opportunity. Not at the moment. The price just reached this resistance. Here we have support. I don't see anything very soon. Okay. All right. Next one. Let's go to this GB pound, GBP, GBP and Canadian, the loonie. Okay. And as you can see, okay. As you can see, this is the 4H time frame. The price just reached, almost broke out this demand here from the left, but this is the reaction. The price did broke out this supply. You can see it in this 1 hour time frame. It was a supply here. The price already broke out this supply. And then we can see this technical correction. The price, I would say, compressed down, as you can see. Okay. And now the price rise up again. Still didn't create a new high above this one. So I would say that the price now is ranging. I don't see, if the price would create a new high, then I would look for a new demand here below and buy at the first opportunity. This is not the picture now. Let's go. This is the 15-minute chart. Okay. We do have here something that seems like a demand. I won't take the chance with this one. The price didn't create a significant movement from this demand. It didn't create a new high even. So I'm not sure about this one. Okay, I will prefer to wait and let the price. By the way, this here below, here, this demand, I would take the risk to buy here on the first touch. Okay, it seems like a significant one. You can see the movement from that level. I will consider to buy here on the first touch. Okay, this the 4H, the daily chart, and nothing really. It is really not really interesting pair to trade at the moment, at least from my opinion. So, okay, someone asked for the Canadian and the Swiss on this 15-minute chart. Seems to be, let's check. Seems to be going in strong supply level. Canadian Swiss, loonie against the Swiss. Okay. Here it is. 15-minute chart. All right. So, supply level. Okay. I'm not sure about what exactly do you mean as a supply level. If you mean the one here at the top, it is seems like a strong supply level. The price dropped down from that level. If I'll go through the 5-minute chart, it is still look like a significant supply level. But the price just now, I don't see any supply on the left. There is a small levels that it could be a great continuation level to sell every time the price had this technical correction and continue his way down. But the first, this supply is a great one. This one in the middle, it's also a good supply to sell. I would sell this supply also maybe on the first touch, but I will be more careful. I will roll my stop loss on the first opportunity. I will sell this, and by the same time, I will consider the situation that the price might keep move up to check the source of this movement, which is here above. Okay, so I'll sell this supply. I will roll my stop loss on the first opportunity, and if the price will continue up, I will sell again here at the top, as at least from the picture we have now. Okay, let's go to the H1. That's the situation in the H1. Okay, the price create this movement down, up, check this level as a supply. As you can see, there was a gap here between this, and usually gap, it's very, not very, but it's rare in the Forex pairs. But when it's occur, it represents sometimes a supply or demand level, and therefore we see the reaction here. Okay, from this 1H time frame, I'm taking a look on the left. I don't see any specific level As you can see here, it's all a resistance, it's all a support levels, all right? To be honest, the next clear and available demand that I can see, it's about here at the bottom, all right? This is what I see. And the next available and critical supply that I can see, it's here. Those two levels, here and here, it seems like a great level, which I will consider to act on the first touch of the price, okay? So I will sell here on the first touch. I will buy here on the first touch. Okay, that's my opinion, at least for this chart. This is the daily chart. The conclusion remained the same. Okay. All right, someone asked for the GB pound and the dollar. We can take a look, of course, then the GB pound and the yen. Okay, and okay, let's continue. I think we can do both GB pound dollar and GB pound yen. And then you see, this is the position we follow from the beginning. This is the entry point. This is the stop loss. We are still at this demand level in a minus of 10 pips approximately. Hopefully the price will react for this demand. All right, pound dollar. Okay, this is the pound dollar, and let's start from the higher time frame. This is the H4. To be honest, the pound dollar for the swing or long-term traders, the conclusion didn't change, at least in the last few days, not days, even in the last 2 weeks. You can see the price didn't create a new fresh zone, a new supply or new demand that create a significant movement. Nothing new. We have this support here below that the price can't break out. We have this resistance here above. And if we are looking for the next ultimate level to sell or to buy, so in this 4H time frame, I would mark this level here. Let's take it to the H1. Okay. So this is how it look. Okay, that's the next level I will consider to sell on the first touch. Let's go back to the 4H. Okay, that's the level. And if I consider to buy on the first touch, it's maybe this demand here at the bottom. Let's go back to the H1 and see how it looks. And roll down. Okay, I think that the price maybe already checked this demand. It's this one. And this is the 4H time frame. We can see that the price reached this level here. That's the lowest level. I will consider to buy here on the first touch. I think this demand still valid, this one, all this level. So I will consider to buy here. Okay. And for the swing long terms, those are the next two available level which I will act on the first touch. Sell here and buy here. And 15-minute chart. We had a nice demand here. We can take a look on this 5-minute chart. We can see this demand that the price rise up. Okay, this is the first touch. So it was a good opportunity for intraday position for 20, 30, 40 pips. Okay, you can see the reaction for this demand. Now the price moves down again. This is not a demand anymore. This is the reaction for the original demand here. So it's a support zone, all this level. Okay. The next available demand is this one, which already checked, I believe. This one is a check. So you can see how the price moves up. Demand, technical correction, check this demand, keep move up, technical correction, check this demand. Here's the reaction. And you can see that the price now even couldn't really make a significant high above this one. Okay. And I will take the chance as an intraday trader at this demand here at the bottom, at the very bottom. Okay, if the price reach there, this is how it look in this H1. So that's for the GBP against the US dollar. My take profit is around when you are in a sell position. I didn't follow this. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this is my conclusion and my analysis for this pair for the GBP against US dollar. Right. Daily chart. Again, the conclusion for the swing in long terms didn't really change in the last 1 or 2 weeks, maybe even. You can see how the price range at these levels. Okay. All right. So let's continue with the GB pound against the yen. I think we'll take this one as the last one, the GBP against the yen. All right, this one. So, oops, there is probably there is a news release now. Okay, so it's interesting to see. You can see what happened when there are high impact news. Interesting. You can see the reaction. It's probably the euro dollar is quite easy. And okay, this one is go against me. Hopefully we'll turn back now. Okay, let's continue with the GB pound against the yen. By the way, during the during the minutes of the news release, if it's a high impact news, it's probably something about the GB, the Great British Pound, or about the dollar. But I don't really recommend you to trade during this time. The spread can really get very wide. There are risks involved when you're trading during high impact news. Okay. Okay. So that's the GBP against the Japanese yen. This is the 4H time frame, and as you can see, the price here standing and just reached this supply. Again, we have this supply on the left, which already checked here and here, and now we have probably this one. Let's take a look how it looked in this H1. Okay, this level, it is the top, and it seems in this H1 as a supply level. But if we take a look on this 4H time frame, we understand which is more resistance than supply. Okay, you can see the original supply is here on the left. All right, this one, that's the original supply. All this is a reaction of the unfilled orders that the price left when create this supply. And there is maybe a new supply here, or something that seems like a supply when we look on the charts. And I don't think I will sell there on the first touch. I'll definitely keep my eyes open and look for a price action setup. I will look for a confirmation from the in the lower time frame at this level. But for now, the price still have all this way to do, 50 or 60 pips from that level. So I'll keep following this one. The conclusion about this GBP against the Japanese, and it's very similar to the pound against the dollar that we just saw. I think that below here we have this demand that the price didn't check yet. It's a fresh one. I will definitely consider to buy on the first touch of the price at this demand here. And above, above we have probably this supply. All right. I'll mark all this level from up and down. This is the level. Above we have this supply that I will definitely consider to sell on the first touch. One more conclusion is if the price will break out this supply that we already, that the price still didn't broke out, if the price will make it by the end and we'll go through this line, it's kind of an indication that the price most likely tends to reach this level. Okay, so we have this buffer to maybe to look for a buy position, to look for a new demand that the price maybe create on this 15 minutes or 5-minute chart or something like this. All right. Okay, so that's the next two levels that I will act on the first touch. If that happened and the price will break out this supply, I will look for a buy position as an intraday trader. I will look for a new demand in the lower time frames. And for now, I think that's all I have to say about this pair. This demand here below, you can see, seems like a great demand. It's exactly the picture that we are looking for when we're looking for demand. But we are just coming back from a kind of supply level or resistance. So it's a bit risky, but if the price reach that level, not very aggressively, I will consider to take the risk here and buy on the first touch. And of course, as an intraday position, I will roll my stop loss as soon as possible, but it's definitely a level to consider to buy on the first touch in this 15-minute chart. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. That's all for today. I wish you all successful trading week and see you the next time, the same time tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy it. See you. Bye-bye.